Welcome back to another video, another episode from the Debate Room podcast. This is episode 105. We have not been back in a week or so. It's probably been about 7 or 8 days since we were last recorded. Been dealing with some personal stuff, and we always moving around. It's summer. We are going to try to get. We're going to try to finish the division previews pretty soon here because we got to do like record. We got to do like predictions for awards, that type of stuff coming up here soon. So because the NFL season is coming up pretty soon. Preseason is about to start. Preseason already started technically, and I know some games are on like Saturday, stuff like that. So as you guys can tell by the title, we're doing a NFC East preview. Last video we did an AFC East preview, so we're doing the NFC East. I wouldn't say necessarily any of us have any teams in the NFC East. We actually don't. But I know Q likes to deny it, but he's affectionate about the Cowboys.
Yeah, Q is a Dak guy. Q is a Dak guy through and through. And he's the quietest Dak defender. Right. He's the loudest Dak defender.
Let's not do this. Let's start the video over because we're not about to sit here. We sit here lying.
All right, he's not a Dak guy.
Like, what are we doing?
He just defends. Oh, people. I think so. Dak is one of those players where he gets hated on a lot, I would say, and so
arguably louder than anyone else in the league. Partially, I blame Stephen A. Stephen A. puts a lot of hate on Dak Prescott, and I think that gets carried out by a lot of other people. I can hate on Dak for sure throughout the year. But Dak Prescott gets hated on a lot, but year in and year out, his regular season stats are always solid.
Yeah, but as Q, I would say is someone who defends Dak, but you also defend other players too. Like you just try to follow the truth or whatever. So, but yeah, it has been times where you have defended Dak in the past. So that's why people say you're a Dak guy. But I was just playing. I know you're not a Dak guy or a Cowboys guy. Anyways, we don't have any teams in this conference, but I do think based on previous history of not only Max hating on Dak, Q defending Dak. So this should be an interesting episode as we talk about the Cowboys and the rest of the teams in the division. And I'm pretty high on the Eagles this year. So it should be an interesting episode. Max, what was your I know you had a question of the day. I will be getting back to that. I will be getting back to the questions of the day.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I will be getting back to it. I gotta find some time to think because my questions, I don't want them to just be simple. You know what I'm saying? So
my question of the day is a two-parter. We got NCAA and Madden coming out soon. So which Madden do you most remember playing as a kid, or what's your favorite Madden? Along with who is your favorite Madden player growing up? Who's like the most glitchiest player or whatever?
My favorite Madden is Madden 11.
Yes, thank you.
Madden 11 was a great Madden game. The nostalgia is crazy in that game. I think was that the year Drew Brees was on the cover?
Drew Brees on the cover. Yep.
Yeah, bro. That was such a great game.
I played 5-on-5. You know that 5-on-5 mode?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Fun. Great game. It was one of those years when Madden didn't feel like the same game every year, same animations and those. So yeah, back there, it was really good.
Any players?
Players, I don't know because I wasn't really like playing a game where like Mike Vick and them was like cracked out and stuff like that. Like all them type of players, like I didn't really grow up in the era, so it was like it really wasn't no players I really gravitated to that was like just crazy. Like he was the best player in the league. He was like the best player in the game, basically.
Madden 09 is the best Madden ever made.
Is that with Favre?
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
But the best Madden player is probably 19 Antonio Brown.
Are we getting into like MUT cards, like Madden Ultimate Team cards?
No. Just like, him in the game. Like him in the game was literally he won every rep. He caught every ball. He was a one-play touchdown.
2016.
Odell used to be crazy. Yeah, Odell used to be crazy. They used to be crazy, man.
I know that Eric Dickerson and Bo Jackson cards in MUT and like Madden 20 were insane. But for Madden 11, for me, I don't know why. I always loved playing with Eddie Royal. Every single time I did a My League, I tried to get Eddie Royal on my team. Hakeem Nicks was always good, but Eddie Royal was always like my favorite player in Madden 11. He didn't have a face card in Madden 11 too, which is crazy.
Yeah, usually the people on the cover of the game used to go crazy. I remember Adrian Peterson was like that too. He used to be crazy in Madden. But let's hop into our NFC East preview. We always start these previews out with like some of the headlines, some of the talking points we want to talk about in this division. So I'll go ahead and start it off and ask you guys a few questions about each teams. Let's start off with the Eagles. I think they're probably the most interesting team in the division. Well, actually, I'll say that's Cowboys, considering what they got as far as contract situations. But are the revamped Eagles primed to make another Super Bowl run? I'm gonna start with Q. Do you think they are primed to make another Super Bowl run, the Eagles?
No, not at all. They have a great roster, but the roster is not the issue. It's coaching, and still to this day, Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni still not even on the same page. Like they don't even talk. Like they're not good. And I understand bringing in Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio on paper sounds like that's going to be a great idea. Their last two stops did not go well. Vic Fangio got ran out of Miami, and Kellen Moore literally got cooked, regardless of injury or not. Like that wasn't a good Chargers showing. You could say he didn't have a full cast of weapons to play with, but it still wasn't a great showing. The Dallas Cowboys, their offense got better without him. Like Dak was an MVP without Kellen Moore. I understand he was having top 5 offenses in Dallas, but as we could see, without him, they had an even better offense. So how much of that really was Kellen? And Vic Fangio been on the sidelines twice, and it wasn't good. Like he got fired as a head coach. The defense was bad when he got canned. It was really Evero that was really running it at the time in Denver when he got canned. Philly, he was a fake consultant, but even then, people kind of think that's Jonathan Gannon. Again, like I said in Miami, he got ran out of Miami, so I don't really know how much of these upgrades are really upgrades. We're gonna have to see it. They filled their holes at corner, but they're rookies. You got to see how they play. They brought back C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but he's coming off an injury. I don't know if he's going to be C.J. Gardner-Johnson from 2 years ago. That's yet to be seen. The D-line is pretty banged up. Like they're either old or they're young. They don't produce. Jalen Carter, he had a great rookie year, but he kind of tailed off at the end. Nakobe Dean, not really all that. Nolan Smith can't really get on the field. Jordan Davis is a name, and he's not really a player. Like, he's not that good anymore. They lost Fletcher Cox. I think Brandon Graham, I don't even know if he's playing or not. Doesn't really matter to me. And they got Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff can't stay on the field for 4 downs because he can't stop the run. Vic Fangio said as much. So I don't really know, like, why they should be Super Bowl contenders other than them just having names on their jersey. But, I mean, I guess they should still win, like, 12 games and technically be considered a contender.
Max, what's your thoughts on the Eagles' chances at getting back to the Super Bowl like they were 2 years ago?
I definitely say they have a chance to get to the Super Bowl. Just looking at the quality of teams in the NFC. When you look around, you look at the other, I'd say there's a top 3, and I say it's with Detroit, and I say it's with San Fran. San Fran's going to lose Brandon Ayuk in the next day or two, which again does not, I don't think it kills their chances of a Super Bowl at all, but it definitely hurts their team. But
I would say like losing Brandon Ayuk damn near, like, unless you think Juwan Jennings and I don't know, unless you think who they draft this year? Ricky
Pearsall.
They could make the Super Bowl without Brady. It's not.
I agree.
I don't know.
Without him.
Yeah, I struggle.
I think he's that good that it can hurt them.
But I struggle to see a world where Shanahan can't bounce back from that and create some sort of offense to where it can still work. Because you have CMC now. You didn't have CMC a couple years ago. I think you can kind of switch that around to where it's like you could still.
They have other concerns for me that make me feel like
what?
Trent Williams is 36 and holding out, and
the main crux. Like they with Brandon Ayuk on the team and not playing no real snaps, they made it to the Super Bowl without CMC and just relying on Debo and Kittle. Now you got CMC, you could miss out on Brandon Ayuk, but it's the other issues that you alluded to that really matter. The Brandon Ayuk thing, you could kind of say it's a thing, but it's not really a thing.
Regardless, they got beat up with injuries a lot last year too. Hufanga went out, obviously. They dealt with injuries on that defensive side and also on the O-line, I believe, too. But I think that if one thing goes wrong as far as an injury or something with San Fran, that opens up a lane to where Philly can go make it through. I still think that even with the new additions, I think Philly is young and a question mark, with the young DBs, with the young line. Jason Kelsey's out. You need to replace that. Like, I think there are some things that need to work out in the first couple of games. But I think that if you can kind of get the ball rolling with that, they have the talent to compete with any team in the NFC. So I really do think that they could get back to where they were 2 years ago. Jalen Hurts proved that he can get a team to a Super Bowl. I get their team was on paper maybe much better, but I think that the talent they have with the rookies and with the guys they drafted in the past couple of years, they could get back there for sure, especially if Dallas is a question mark and not competing with them. If they have concerns about who they're going to re-sign or if they have their own set of injuries. The NFC is not this unless it's some shock team comes out, unless Jordan Love balls out or the Bears play crazy or the Rams have a really good season. Like, I really don't think that there's many guys coming at the throne of the NFC champions. So I think that Philly just has to beat a team or two or hope that a team or two can get out, and they have the talent to push them into the Super Bowl. So I know they had a rough loss last year against Tampa Bay. I think that there was a bunch of things wrong with that, and I think they did address them this offseason. I think they figured out ways to try and replace the secondary. It might not be an immediate fix, but I think that over the course of the season, it will start to kind of mold together. So I actually do have confidence. I like Jalen Hurts. I like the Saquon addition because you have a great top 3, top 5 talented running back on your team. DeAndre Swift was great in the role for him, but I don't know if it was him versus the O-line. So I really do think that with the good O-line and Saquon Barkley, you still got threats with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Dallas Goedert was injured last year. If he can play a full healthy season with the addition of the defense side, I really do think that they can go toe-to-toe with the other two contenders, in my opinion, in the NFC.
I like a lot of what you said, Max, especially there at the end. You already know this, so it's not going to be a surprise. I think the Eagles are making the Super Bowl this season. They are my pick out the NFC to make the Super Bowl. I think all the top teams in the NFC have questions. Some more than others, but I think the Eagles as well also have questions. And their questions is probably going to be their defense. Their secondary last year was terrible. Their defense line ran out of gas to end the season. And now they did address some of that. They got young DBs, some young linebackers, some more experienced linebackers as well. But those players will have to get better over the course of the season. So relying on them like late in the playoffs is something that we don't see a lot. Like the Chiefs were able to do it, but everybody's are not the Chiefs. Like everybody don't got Spags as a defensive coordinator and stuff like that. So that's a question mark for them, and they're gonna have to improve throughout the season. But on paper, I think this is a Super Bowl contending team, especially in the NFC. They got Saquon Barkley, who is going to help them alleviate the loss of Jason Kelsey, in my opinion, because when you get a better, more dynamic back, it helps you when your offensive line deteriorates a little bit. And I do think they're probably going to still be a top 10-ish, top 13-ish offensive line, especially in the regular season. And they have Jalen Hurts, who not only dealt with a little bit of nagging injuries last year. If he comes back healthy this year with another weapon in Saquon Barkley, with a better offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore, like Kellen Moore still has his questions as an offensive coordinator, but it will be very hard pressed for me to see him be as bad as Brian Johnson was for them, and for Vic Fangio to be as bad as Matt Patricia was for them last season. So those are just, to me, on his face, net upgrades. Like they might not be the best in the business and all like that, but they're net upgrades from what they had when that team was through 11 weeks 10-1. They started to deal with injuries. They just fell off as far as defense. So I think, especially because they're in the NFC, they're not in the AFC. We know it's a weaker conference. They should be able to compete, especially in the regular season. And when it gets down to playoff time, it's like who do you trust more in these situations? We've seen them go through a lot over the last 2 or 3 seasons now. They fizzed out in the playoffs, and what that was at 2021. 2022, they obviously made the Super Bowl. And last year, they lost in the first round. So they had the trials and tribulations. A lot of this core has been together for a long time. So they not only are they one of the more experienced teams, they're one of the most battle-tested teams. And they just have one of the best rosters, I feel like, in the entire NFL and especially in the NFC. So that they are my Super Bowl pick for next season. And I explained that a little bit earlier in the Discord, but I agree with you. Some of the questions, the cornerbacks, they're rookies, but I do think they're very good, especially depending on how they use in his defense. And I trust Vic Fangio. I'm high on him as a defensive coordinator. I've been high on him as a defensive coordinator for a long time. He was a consultant in a year. They went to I believe they went to the Super Bowl last year in Miami. I would say, obviously they dealt with injuries a lot. They didn't have Jalen Ramsey for a big chunk of the season. Once he came back, the defense improved a little bit. I think in some points he got a lot out of not a lot, but better than what I expected him to get out of older injured defensive backs and linebackers. The Miami defense wasn't good, but they were missing a top 6 cornerback in the league for a lot of that, and they were injuries. So as long as this team is able to stay healthy, which is a big if, because they got older D linemen, they got Bryce Huff. Is it being a little bit optimistic? Maybe, but I definitely think this team can compete for a title this season. I would say contenders in the NFC would be, again, 49ers, Lions, and Eagles. Those are the top 3, and then you probably think the Packers in there, maybe the Rams in there. Those are probably like the top 5 teams. Unless I'm missing somebody. In the NFC,
the Packers are 4.
That wasn't in order.
Okay,
that wasn't in order. Yep. Well, yeah. So that's my take on it. I do think if we're going to, especially with the cornerbacks, they're gonna have to get better and better over there as the season goes on, like you said, Max. It's gonna be growing pains, but I think just the base off the talent that they added this summer, and we've seen in the past where like they've added names, but the names haven't panned out. We've seen that, especially in the draft. Jordan Davis was a name. Nolan Smith was a name. Keely Ringo was a name. But it didn't pan out. But these guys like Bryce Huff, Saquon Barkley, these are guys are already established in the NFL. We've seen them play, and if they're able to stay healthy on the field, then I think they're going to be able to produce for them.
I don't think Bryce Huff is established. I think he's just a pass rush. He's a pass rush specialist. That's it. He can't replacing Hassan Reddick with him is literally a downgrade, because Bryce Huff cannot stay on the field for 4 downs. Like, we know that 10 sacks is cool when you're coming in every 4 plays. You're always going to be fresh. They need him to be on the field for 4 downs because they don't have nobody else to be on the edge. So I don't that small money thing. You don't think he's
an established good player in the NFL?
Not for what the Eagles need. No. I don't think replacing a very good player with a worse player, a good thing to do. Like, I think that's actually, a negative. But that's small minute. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but then it kind of does.
I mean, it really just matters on the back end. They did bring C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. Darius Slay is still a pretty good corner. They just gotta rely on some young people to develop.
Is James Bradbury or no? Am I tweaking?
He's about to get cut.
He's like garbage. I wouldn't even. I didn't bring him up.
He's like their 4th-string safety.
At least for mentorship of 2 young guys. I think you got a couple guys on there, but
yeah, that's enough about the Eagles though. Let's talk about the Cowboys. They've been in headlines this offseason for all the wrong reasons, to be honest. Did not make any moves in free agency. They did some stuff in the draft.
They got back Zeke.
Anyways, is this a make or break season for the Cowboys this year? Would you say, Q? I'm starting with Q again because
it's fine.
No. Make or break. You would have to be expecting something different than what they already been giving you, and they're not going to really do much different than they already been giving you. So I don't think it's a make or break. They're not going to suddenly make the Super Bowl and everything's going to be all peachy key. The roster is essentially the same, and other teams got better. I don't think they got worse. That's like a common misconception that people are saying because they lost Tyron Smith, which is cool, but you drafted his replacement. And if anything is anything in Dallas, they know how to develop O-line. The same issues Tyler Guy had coming out of college, Tyler Smith had. They went to the same school. They played together. If they can make Tyler Smith an all-pro who was raw and couldn't really play the position, they could do the same thing with Tyler Guy. Same thing with Cooper Beebe. They lost a O-lineman that they developed themselves who was pretty average and they drafted a better prospect, and they're gonna do the same thing with him. So their online issues is not really a thing. Running back is cool, but Tony Pollard averaged 55 yards a game. You could replace that. If we're gonna act like you can't replace 55 yards a game from a running back, we acting silly.
Tony Pollard killed my fantasy team, man. He killed my shit.
I still think that having a mediocre running game when you have your only real weapon as being CeeDee Lamb in the passing game is not ideal.
Yeah, it ain't an ideal, and it wasn't ideal last year. And last year they had the number one offense in the league with the same mediocre running game and the one weapon. So people say
and they lost in the first round.
That means nothing because you're going to talk about something in the playoffs that doesn't really matter because it's going to be the same outcome again. But through 17 games with that one weapon and Dak Prescott, they're going to put out a top 5 offense, and that's just what it's going to be. They're going to beat up on the division. They're going to go 500 out of the division, win 10, 12 games, and either win a first-round matchup or lose in the divisional. Same thing, just like happened last year. The talent is pretty much the same. The linebackers were never that good. They replaced bad linebackers with okay linebackers. They get an all-pro cornerback. They get another cornerback that they signed that they've been had, Jordan Lewis, who's cool in the slot. They drafted a corner, and they get to put DeRon Bland, who really isn't that good, but he's great at, getting turnovers. You put him back in the slot where he belongs, and he could get turnovers from there because he's going to be around the football. You get your safeties back. Your defense is pretty much the same as it was last year. Offense is pretty much the same as it was last year. And you go out, you're going to win 10 to 12 games. You're going to lose in the playoffs, and everybody's going to make jokes again. It's not a make-or-break year. They're just either going to lose Dak or they're going to end up paying all 3 of them top of the league month. It is what it is.
Next, make a break season. Make a break season, man.
I thought there was like something about they were close to getting a contract done with CD and Dak. So I guess we'll see about that. But in my opinion, I agree with Q. I really don't think it's a make or break season, especially because I think they're going to sign Dak and I think they're going to sign CD. So this is just going to keep on being this same vicious cycle, regardless of kind of whatever pieces you put around them. You'll have an offense that can get touchdowns and put points on the board. When push comes to shove, I don't think the team's going to be good enough to win playoff games down the stretch. So, yeah, you can beat up on the Giants and you can beat up on the Commanders, twice, 4 times a year. You can maybe beat the Eagles one time in a Monday night game and it gets everyone hyped up.
I'm going to stop you right there. Stop doing that. Doing that. It's not a maybe beat the Eagles.
Okay, beat them once.
They go 5-1 every single year.
Like you said, it really doesn't mean much how you get there.
Hold on. This is why I'm a Cowboys fan, because I'm correcting people when they say that outlandish maybe beat the Eagles. Like they don't beat the Eagles every year. Like they don't beat in the NFC East every single year, regardless of what you think about that.
It's like the same. So I don't remember. The Eagles and the Cowboys did play in the playoffs like 2 years ago, right? No. When the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, did they play in the playoffs when they went to the Super Bowl? Okay, that's what I remember. I thought they did. Regardless, it's like you can do whatever in the regular season. The same thing is going to be the same output in the postseason. And that's just like that. I think being a Bears fan and being like at this mediocrity of 8-8, like it's hell. And I think it sucks. But I almost think that like where Cowboys fans are might be borderline worse of like you have these high expectations and you can't say maybe this year, but in years past, I feel like every Cowboys fan, it's our year, right? You hear it from people, you hear from whatever, because especially on like the big time ESPN, Sports Centers, whatever, they got to talk about the Cowboys and Cowboys fans want to hear it, that this is their year and it never is. And I don't see it becoming their year unless they place more pieces around it or Dak can finally put something together in the playoffs. And like it really just like, I don't know, they switch coaches, they switch quarterbacks, they switch receivers, they've switched like, I don't know what else there really is to do in Dallas to kind of switch the momentum of this team. So as far as a make or break season, no, because I think I agree with Q. I think they'll get 10, 11 wins. And I think next year, maybe they get 9, but then the next year they get 12 or 13. And then the next year, and it's just a vicious cycle. And I think the farthest they'll make it is maybe winning the playoff game.
Like crazy. When the last time they won 9 games?
I'm just saying, I don't remember. But if you gotta, do Do you think they're keeping all three guys? Are they paying all three guys? Are you paying Micah, CD, and Dak? Because if you're not paying all three of those guys, I think going down one game next year is not crazy.
You could pay as long if you have Dak, you could be without Micah and they still could win 10, 11 games. You just can't be without Dak and then win 10, 11 games.
I'm taking one. I think CD's the same way too. I'm sorry. I think CD definitely helps that team.
CD's no matter what's going to stay because you need a number one wide receiver. That's not. But
last time they won 9 games was 2020.
They got 2 years of Micah left. Micah's not going to just sit
out.
How
many games did he play in 2020 though? Is that a full? He said last time they won 9 games was 2020.
They won 8-8 in 2020.
2020 they won 8-8.
I think Dak won a missed time though that year.
It was some weird. I thought 2020 was a weird year. Regardless, though, like I don't think it's crazy to say that Micah gives you one less loss. Micah's a top 3 defender, top 5 defensive lineman in the league. If not, some people it's 1. So, I
don't know, man.
I don't think it's crazy.
I think they've had teams that they have. I think they've had teams to go further in the playoffs than they.
That should go further. That should go further. You're saying,
like.
Sure.
They've had the teams. They've had
expectations. Yes, I agree.
Every team that they've had that's been good, when they got to the playoffs, they played a better team.
Yes, that's cool. But those players performed good enough in the moment to go further. And what happened? We know what happened. They
lost to a better team.
Dak folded. That team played up to par with the other team, and Dak folded. In 2020, what was that? 2020.
Here's the thing with speaking in hindsight. Yeah. You could say anything you want in hindsight because you already know the answer. You know the answer already. So any type of argument is going to still be met with, yeah, but they lost. Going into any of those games, nobody thought Dallas was going to beat the 49ers those 2 times. Nobody thought that.
I thought Dallas was going to beat Green Bay.
Yeah, that certifiably, literally everybody had Dallas. Nobody had Green Bay except for the people in Green Bay. Going up against the 49ers twice, nobody thought they would be in the 49ers. Nobody thought it. So you could just throw that out the way. They faced a better team. Everybody.
I don't know about nobody thought that. I don't know.
Nobody thought they would be in the 49ers, bro. No, nobody.
The year with Jimmy G, I just don't know. And in the year with Brock Purdy, I don't know. Like actually both years, yeah.
That's like, just not true.
What are we using to say that nobody thought they were going to win that game?
Everybody knew 49ers were going to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Just because you're facing a better roster doesn't mean like everybody thought they were going to lose. Like I don't agree with that. And again, we saw it. They've had the teams.
Did you think they were going to beat the 49ers? You thought they were going to beat the 49ers? Be honest.
Probably in the year they had Jimmy G for sure.
So you went into that game thinking they were going to win.
Yes, and I don't know how you're going to discredit me from saying that. That was like 3 years ago, and I don't even know we was doing this podcast. So, again, and I've been high on the Cowboys in some years. I think I had them as my Super Bowl contender last year before that when we went into the season started. So yeah, I actually definitely said that. So I've been high on the Cowboys in years, and we've seen them have the teams. They had the teams. Like we saw it. They had the teams. They had the teams to do it. It's that could not perform in the playoffs, and that's okay. That's fine. But
what team did they have that they lost to that they were better than? Tell me the teams that the roster that they were better than.
That does not mean they didn't have the team though.
Tell me the team that performed better than that they beat or they lost to, because they didn't.
Well, it's hard to perform better. It's hard to perform better as a team when you're playing when the quarterback is so essential to the outcome of a game. And your quarterback's just a bit. Their defense played amazing in both games against the 49ers in the playoffs, but they could not get it done because of Dak Prescott. Like literally.
What team performed better? What team performed better throughout the year? The 49ers or the Cowboys?
We're talking about in the actual like the matchup, right? Or we talking about throughout the season? Because I mean, what was it? Let's look at the 49ers record in 2022. I don't think they. Wait, let me see. Was that 2022? Because I could have sworn it was like one of these years they won like 10-7 or something. 13-4. They lost. They played them in 2021, 2022. Yeah, they went 10-7, and I think this is the year that they beat the Cowboys.
Your record, that's what you're going to determine whether they perform well or not. Is that what
the Cowboys over the course of the regular season, over the course of the regular season in 2021, 2022, I would say the Cowboys just performed better than the 49ers. Yes, they did. Unless I'm looking at the wrong year.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I mean, you wanted to use the regular season, and yes, they performed better. They did.
I mean, they didn't.
So yes, that was the year that the Cowboys, I think, were 12-5. The 49ers were 10-7. And we can look at lines. We can look at Vegas and see who was favorite. We can do all that. I don't think that were the 49ers favorite in that game.
I think it was a pick 'em.
Okay, so if it's a pick 'em, it's not really like, oh, again, and that's how the game was. It was a tight game. If Dak didn't play like dog shit, they would have advanced.
Right.
It's not
so
like
we're gonna start using Vegas to decide whether teams is good or not. If that we gonna make that.
I don't think it was some astronomical gap between the teams or nothing like that, or that far off at all. I mean, honestly, again, they would have won the game if Dak just didn't play like shit. That's all he has to do. It's not. I'm not like they have the teams to go further than what they are. Like they don't need Dak to carry them over the hump really at all. And like these last 3 seasons, they have not needed that. 2022, they didn't need that. 2023, they didn't need that. 2021, 2022, and then this past season, they did not need that. They just need Dak to not play like shit, and he just can't do that. But anyways,
or he's playing a better team and he's not a great quarterback. You know,
bro, they just need him.
Loses to the better team. That's usually
they need him. They needed him to play mediocre. That's what they needed him to do.
That's speaking in hindsight. You're speaking in hindsight because you know that when you watch the game, as you watching the game unfold, and you see it at the end, you realize, oh, he didn't even have to play that well. But going into that, you're probably going to think he's going to have to perform very well to beat the 49ers, a 13-4 team. Because that's what the 49ers were. That year, they were 13-4. They weren't 10-7.
I don't know. I don't really see what the problem is with operating in hindsight because we're 2 years away from that now. It's like, why does it like even invalidate what I'm saying? The fact that we thought
your opinion going into the game is not going to match your opinion coming out of the game.
Duh, because we saw it happen. But Grant, that's not how we evaluate things. And we see that the defense plays well in both games. We're looking at Dak like you need to be just mediocre. All you gotta do is be good, and you can't. I mean, be average, and you can't even be average.
You have that answer. You only have that answer after the fact. You don't have that answer going into it. You don't.
I don't know why that matter. I don't know why that matter though. Like
how does that matter?
Because and we're evaluating. Like, yeah, the claim is that the Cowboys didn't have the teams to go further than what they have been in the playoffs. And I'm looking back on it saying they did have the teams because they played well enough in these matchups to beat the 49ers or to beat the Packers, yet Dak consistently fell short in the playoff games, and that's why they haven't.
So if Dak fell short, doesn't that mean they didn't have the teams?
No.
Why not? Dak is part of the team, yes or no?
Bro, they had the rosters, they had the teams to go past.
Is Dak part of the roster?
Yes, he's a part of the roster. That's like saying no. That's like saying let's say the Heat in 2011. They had the team, but LeBron fell short. They had the teams because LeBron, like, what the fuck? Like, what are we talking about?
That's
not different. That's not different.
I do disagree.
Bro. That is linear.
I do disagree, Q. I don't think I'm on the same level with you. I'm saying like if it's like the 49ers, are we saying like the 49ers are a great team, but like Brock Purdy, you know, is that like, am I getting at the right thing here? Like the 49ers are a great team and you're trying to throw Brock Purdy in that. I'm like, no, I think that they like the reason they lost is because of Brock Purdy, but they're still a great team kind of thing. Like if Brock Purdy could have been better at this point in time. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like the 49ers,
I don't know where you're going with this.
49ers is the best roster in football besides quarterback position, correct?
Yes, or maybe not.
So like, are you saying like? I guess I'm like confused. So like, if we say, or we talk about it, like, I guess what Latif's trying to say is like
the Celtics in 2022. The Celtics in 2022 had the team to win the championship. They had the team. They did. But Jason Tatum should have been. He didn't show up. They had the team, though. We knew that. They had the team.
Then they would have won.
No, that's not true. They had a team. They had a good enough team to win it. But they players shit the bed. Like I don't know.
They weren't good enough.
Like no, they ran into a more experienced team with vets, and their players didn't play up to. They don't mean they didn't have a good enough team to win.
Yeah, they weren't good enough.
Especially since playoffs are matchup based. Like what are we doing?
Yeah, and they weren't good enough.
Like the Cowboys had teams to go further in the playoffs. Dak just shit the bed, and that's why the blame is on him.
Wouldn't that be a matchup problem? You just said it. Wouldn't that be a matchup problem?
No, I don't think it's a matchup problem. We seen them shit the bed because we seen them shit the bed against more than the Cowboys. We just saw him against the Packers last year. It's just something about him when he gets into the playoffs. It's not there. It's just not there.
Or
it's not there.
What can't the Cowboys do on defense? Stop the run. What have they begun? And when they get in the playoffs, what has been happening?
What does that do offense? What does that have to do offense?
You saying that you bring up matchups? That's a matchup thing that literally.
That's on defense. That's on defense. Intuitive. That's
pick and choose because now I'm using
no. That's fine. And with their ability to not stop the run in those two matchups against the 49ers, they still held them from scoring a lot of points. And all they needed was for Dak to not be ass. So yes, they couldn't stop the run, but fine. They didn't let up enough points.
Good enough.
No, bro. They didn't not advance in those years because the team wasn't good enough. They didn't advance because Dak is not good enough. That's just what it is.
Dak part of the team. They're not.
Bro, I don't know why we act like we can't separate the teams all the time because we do the same thing. Like LeBron was good enough in 2018 to win a championship. He was himself, but the team wasn't. And we can say the inverse in 2011. We can say the inverse in other years.
The team wasn't good. The team wasn't good enough.
Was the team good? Was the team good enough? Was the team good enough in 2011? What was the team good enough in 2011 to win a championship?
No, they
lost.
Oh
my god. Okay. All right. That's crazy. Like a team can get upset. Like it happens all the time. Like the Miami Heat were good enough in 2011 to win a championship. LeBron should have been. And I'm a LeBron guy. He should have been, bro. It's okay. I don't even know why we doing that. But that's fine.
I never said it wasn't okay to say he should have been. I never accused Dak of playing great in the playoffs. I never said that. I don't know why we're doing that.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I'm pushing back on the
weren't good enough. Unless you're saying he was the only one that played bad, which would be a lie. But it's not. They weren't good enough.
So if you play the
2011 team was good enough.
If you play the 2011 finals like 100 times over, did the Heat ever win?
Yes.
I literally can't answer that for you.
like I'm thinking, if Virginia plays UMBC 100 times over, are they good enough to beat them? Once.
I can't tell you that.
I could. Yes, they are good enough. They just lost that one game.
My fault, Genie. You got all the answers. I can't do that.
I'm just being honest.
I ain't that talented.
All right. But as far as a make or break season for the Cowboys, I understand what y'all saying and stuff like that. But it's like, if you flame out this year again, which they are, we know they definitely are. It's like, how do you in confidence pay these three players or pay Micah's?
What other options you have?
Let that walk. That's the option that they might actually. We see it. They might do it. I don't know if that's smart, losing him that level of quarterback for nothing. But the only other way for them to really improve this team is through the draft. And again, they had the rosters. I don't know exactly what they need to do to get back to the actual Super Bowl contention, but this just feel like a season where it's like we need to evaluate the talent that we have on the roster and make a decision. So from that standpoint, I do think it's like this is gonna be the last season where we get to evaluate CD. Which they're going to understand him. I already know they are. Dak and Micah, which he's, I think, 2 years away from ascension. So from that standpoint, for me, it is a make or break season. And that's why I asked the question. Let's move on to the Commanders. What are you guys' expectations for Jayden Daniels year one as QB1? which I was surprised. Well, I'm not surprised actually. No, I'm not. I don't know why I said that. I'm not surprised he got the job. Max, what's your expectations for Jayden Daniels in year one?
I was actually a semi-fan of what the Commanders did this offseason. I thought they brought in a lot of experience. They brought in some vets. I just think as a whole, like, you bring experience to a pretty young team. As far as what Jayden Daniels is going to do this year, I don't really know because it's so contingent on the O-line. Their receiving core isn't really wowing me. Eckler's got experience in a great with a great quarterback, but I don't think he's necessarily a great running back. We saw some of that last year. I think he definitely benefited from having Justin Herbert with him and getting him open in his receiving game. But I guess I can't really put something to what it's going to be because I haven't seen the O-line yet. I think they win a couple games. I think they give some Commanders fans some promise. I just don't think that the roster currently is built to really be this CJ Stroud Texans type season. And again, I think like last year, I don't think we would have said the same thing about the Texans. They just played well as the season went on. But you have Terry McLaurin. Latif, you're obviously high on
Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. Jahan Dotson. But
There's
like
a reason
past
why you couldn't get his name.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we literally talk about it. Zach Ertz is a good experience. Like, but besides that, it's like I don't think I'm gonna be expecting I hope that Caleb will have a better season than him. I think it's gonna be like an average rookie quarterback season. I really don't think it's gonna be much. I think the Commanders will probably be better than the Giants. That's only because I don't even know who's on the Giants off at this point in time. So I think there'll be big question marks heading into the offseason. But again, I really have no expectations for the Commanders or Jayden Daniels for the season.
Oh, shit. Go ahead. That's your
I
man.
thought who? Jayden Daniels?
No. Jahan.
Jahan. Yeah, I messed with Jahan. My expectations for Jayden Daniels, they're really low. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like the pick at all. We knew this. I gave it a D, which I got backlash for. But I think Jayden Daniels could be pretty good for a rookie, but I'm not putting a lot of faith in it. Like, I think their offensive line still has questions, like a lot of them. He's gonna be running for his life back there, like Sam Howell did. I'm not a big fan of Cliff Kingsbury at all. I don't think he's that good at all, even as offensive coordinator. What he did with Kyler Murray, with having that talent that he had with Kyler Murray, I think was underwhelming, to be frank. Don't think he was good as a head coach. Didn't think he was good calling plays. This offense, the running game is not going to be good. The receivers, they have some promise. Like I think Jahan Dotson has a semi-bright future. I think he'd be a pretty decent receiver in the league. But this is gonna be a multi-year thing. Like, expecting a lot of him in year one is it's not smart. I seen people, I don't know, it'd be like troll accounts because I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter where people like it was like 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 3,500 yards. Like, I'm not expecting that. I'm not expecting him to have like a CJ Stroud type rookie year. I think he's gonna have like 22 touchdowns, maybe like 15 picks this year. I don't know, maybe too high on the picks, but
you're being if you don't like somebody, you really be saying the worst of shit. Like, you always go with the
that's
worst.
Worse. That's bad.
15 picks.
He's a rookie.
Crazy.
He's a rookie,
What
man.
that mean?
Rookies throw a lot of picks sometimes. They do.
15 picks is crazy.
I know.
That's not average, even for rookies. That's like way too high. Like,
how many picks on average do you think rookies throw? Because, like, let's just say an average rookie. I know Trevor Lawrence. That's a bad situation. So
throw that out. Throw that out.
So, can we get an example like of an average rookie season? Because I know,
give me an average rookie in the past 10 years.
Because I mean, Sam Howell, 21 interceptions. Jesus.
Not an average rookie. Like, first of all, Buddy was like a third round pick. What first round pick quarterback that's not really a bust was throwing 15 picks?
Well, we don't know if he's gonna be a bust. So should I even get that stipulation? I mean, let me see.
Well, first round quarterback.
Okay. I'll give you first round quarterback. Oh, he didn't play enough.
Don't give me bum ass Bryce Young, who had a horrible, like, you talking about, like,
bum ass. Can we respect Bryce Young?
No.
I think it's like Kenny Pickett didn't play enough. He was on pace for like 15 picks, bro. He didn't play enough. He only played 12 games. He had 9 picks in 12 games, so he was on pace for it.
Another film, and we knew that going into it.
We didn't know that. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Sam Darnold.
What?
He had 15 picks his rookie year.
It's Sam Darnold.
Man, Sam Darnold was highly.
Sam Darnold was highly touted. He was highly touted. What are we doing right now?
Coming out that draft, he should have been the number 1 pick. Yeah, sure.
We're just talking about right now. Jayden Daniels is all we know about Jayden Daniels is that he's highly touted. Well, we know like more about that, but you know what I'm saying? Like he's just a highly touted rookie right now. Like
and it's a different game. And we're talking about Sam Darnold on the Jets with Jamison Crowder compared to Terry McLaurin. Like that's 2 different things.
I gave him 22
Adam Gates, bro. Come on.
Like so if he throws 15 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, let's say he throws 13 interceptions instead of 15. Is 13 too high? Like that's I don't know. Like how many picks you think you're gonna throw? Like give me an example. Because I think 10 would be like
13 cool. 15
two more. Oh,
that's different. That's different. That's different. 17 picks and 50. There's people that threw 17 picks that are getting called a turnover problem, but a person that threw 15 picks.
It is a difference. It's minuscule, but it's a difference. I agree. It is a difference. Like
I've seen.
I don't feed that narrative.
People call a person that threw 17 interceptions a turnover problem, but a person that threw 15 interceptions safe with the ball. Like I've seen that with my own eyes.
Q is
I don't
a
fit
Josh
into that narrative.
Fan.
I don't fit into that narrative. I don't say that.
Is a Josh Allen fan, and Josh Allen can get thrown in nasty conversations when he has high pick numbers.
All you got to do is use your brain and know that he literally first of all has the most his turnover rate play percentage is not even that high. His interception percentage is not that high considering how much he has the ball and throws the ball. That's obvious.
Yes.
But
public perception, which is the majority, is not going to see it that way. And that's what drives a lot of conversations. Whether people want to act like the consensus and things like that don't matter, it actually does, because that's where a lot of the conversations stem from. Like you could act all like, yeah, I don't give into the whatever. It still matters. It still drives conversations. So there's gonna be people that call that a turnover issue. If you have 2 less, they might rock with that. And even if he did have 15 interceptions, he's probably still going to get rushing touchdowns. So even if he was 22 and 15, he probably going to have 30 total touchdowns. So the 15 interceptions wouldn't look as bad.
My bad. I should have said 22 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Mac Jones as rookie season. Is that good? Mac Jones as rookie season. That's not even crazy. Is that crazy? Mac Jones had 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
Let's go to the Giants. Let's go to the Giants.
Yeah, I don't expect much out of them. They're gonna be trash.
To be honest, we can honestly cut this short. We can cut this short and sweet. The only thing Giants have to look forward to this season is Malik Neighbors, and I think that their D line will be getting some sacks, and that's about it.
Yo, what?
D line will be getting some sacks. It's supposed to sound. You can make it sound crazy, but that is a normal football term. You got Brian Burns, which they overpaid for, but you still have him, and you have Dexter Lawrence. If I'm a Giants fan, that's it. I don't know who's playing quarterback. I can't even name my running backs.
You know who's playing quarterback.
Because you paid him. But is he honestly the better talent right now? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
Training camp loves Drew Lock.
Yes,
Training camp loves Drew Lock.
Back on the team.
Tommy DeVito balled out last year. Like,
for real, bro.
You can never convince me on a Jimmy.
Agent was better than Justin Fields. Ain't you say that?
I did. I don't remember that.
Yo, you love.
I don't remember
for that one game. Yes, he was better. Tyson Bagent was a baller. I'll take Tyson Bagent over Daniel Jones this one time. Damn.
All right. We're not being.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm trolling, but yeah, you can't get me excited about this. I don't think there's much to talk about. I think this team is the worst in the division. That's it.
Their defense is gonna be cool until they're tired and they give up a lot of points. Think of the Jets. The defense starts off great. After a while, with bad quarterback play, or you're gonna get tired eventually, and they're gonna start tailing off because their front seven can match up with any front seven in the league. Linebackers, they got a very good linebacker. They got a very good young corner. They need a couple others. The defense is going to be solid, but they're just going to be worn down, and the numbers are not going to reflect that because the offense is going to be nasty. Malik Neighbors is cool. It's still all depends on Daniel Jones throwing him the ball, and he's throwing picks left and right in training camp. And I get it. That's what you're supposed to throw the picks because you're trying new things, but it's a certain level of missed throws and whatnot that it starts to actually have to matter in training camp.
All right, yeah, I think they should be trying to get the number 1 overall pick. I mean, honestly,
but even in this draft, what do you want?
Carson
Beck. I'm not high on him. I don't really think he's gonna be that good in the NFL. To be honest, I don't think Carson's gonna be. I don't think Carson's gonna be that good. I don't think
number one player. Q.
What in the draft? No, he's not the number 1 player in the draft. Like not even close. The best players in college this year are linemen and corners.
Yeah, I was saying Mason. I know both Michigan guys. Will Johnson and Mason Graham both get hot.
It's 2 receivers, but they're like that. Like you don't have to go Luther Burden or Ted McMillan.
I mean, you could have Luther Burden and Malik side by side. Once you find a quarterback, it'd be a great situation. But
I think Luther Burden number 1 might be crazy. I can't lie.
It's gonna be a tackle.
Yeah.
You could pick Luther Burden. I'd go give Dak give him that $60 million.
Fair.
Go holler at Bill Belichick and see what I can do for the next 3 years.
I like Brian Dable, but that's me.
He could be working under Bill Belichick again.
That's fine. Get demoted.
All right, let's get into breakout players for the NFC East. I'll start off. If I had to choose a breakout player out of this division, I don't really think that is that many options. And I'm more of like an offensive guy, maybe on defense, it may be some. But I'm gonna go with Jahan Dotson. Now he had a down year last year. In 17 games. So he got more targets than he did his rookie year. And barely I don't think he had more yards. He might have had less.
I'm only laughing. Q, I want a full rebuttal on this.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
he had less yards. He had less yards. He had less yards than he did his rookie year. Less touchdowns as well. But his rookie year, he was really, really good, really, really efficient. As far as like just getting touchdowns in a limited amount of games. I think he played 12 games. He had 7 touchdowns, 500 yards.
He got 3 of them in the first game.
Listen, man, he was very good in fantasy for me. I like Jahan Dotson. I think he can break out if he have better quarterback play. I mean, what do you want to do with Carson Wentz and
you tell me what he does well? Because I can tell you right now for a fact he cannot separate. He's not a great route runner, and he does not have good hands. Tell me the things that he does well, because those 3 that I just named are not it. You can go check all the numbers you want. It's going to support my claim. Tell me what he does well.
Now listen,
going to fix for him.
Now listen, it's more about quarterback. You know how much emphasis he's going to get in offense as well. I think it'll be improved this year. Now his hands, he does have a slight drop issue. He has a slight drop issue. But I mean, we see people get better at that all the time.
What about the route runners?
The route running, that never was nothing to be like to write home about. It never was. And
what about getting open? Separating.
I think he'd be better at separating. As far as his rookie season, I can go check the numbers on that because I don't think as far as like separation, it wasn't just all contested catches for him. Now it was only 35 receptions. He did get injured. But I'll go check the numbers on that.
Q, who you got for your breakouts?
It's easy pick. It's Malik Neighbors. Regardless of who's throwing in the ball, he's going to probably put up somewhere between a band, maybe 12.
I don't know. I'm thinking like 800 and 1,000.
And maybe 12. Pretty easily. He's going to be competing with the other rookie wide receivers for, I guess, rookie of the year award, even though it's going to go to Caleb Williams.
I got 2. One is just because of the situation. I guess they both are. But I think it's just, I don't know. I don't really have one for this division much. I'd go with Jalen Carter. I just think he'll get more opportunities. And like, I don't love the pick because he shined kind of last year in this double-headed running back role. But Rico Dowdle, I think with the Cowboys O-line, like, I think he'll be the featured back. But again, I'm not like nothing's great about it to me.
It's the Tony Pollard shit all over again. Tony
Wait,
Pollard.
who did you say?
I guess that's what I'm saying is like if Tony Pollard can be looked at as a feature back, I don't think that I think Rico looked almost better at times last year than Tony Pollard did. So
yeah, because Tony Pollard can't be a featured back. That's what that proved.
Can or can't?
Can't.
Well, good. You went with Tajay Spears now. You got another 2-man thing. All right. Can I go with my trivia next?
Mm-hmm.
Latif, good.
I was looking at his numbers. I mean, they weren't terrible. They were like middle of the league on some shit.
Latif, good.
How many wide receivers are there in the league?
A lot.
Exactly. Still ain't good, bro.
I'm going back to. I'm saying I never said he was a world beater. And especially in his first 2 years. In 2022, my bad. We can get to it next.
The things that he's bad at, a quarterback can't fix. Like a quarterback can't really help him separate. You know what I'm saying? A quarterback can help him get the ball by placing it there, but that'd be the quarterback doing 85% of the work. And I don't think Jayden Daniels is good enough to do 85% of the work. He
had 36.2% win rate versus man. That was 41 in the league. His routes versus man win rate 149. I was 43rd in the league. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I would say look, pretty average. It ain't like terrible. That was in 2022. I actually think he got a little bit better, but he in 2021. I mean 2023. Let me see. Come on, refresh. Never mind, I got worse. Let's move on. Let's do your trivia, Max.
All right. I need you guys to name me each team's. I need you guys to name me every team's player who has played the most games for that team, if that makes sense. So I need the Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, and Giants player who played the most games with that franchise.
Yeah, just say NFC East edition next time.
NFC East edition.
Like on the roster right now or like in history?
Who played the most games in this specific jersey?
Ever?
Yes. So the Lakers, I'm pretty sure would be like Kobe Bryant played the most games because he played 20 years all for the Lakers. Like where you got LeBron playing some here, some there. I need the 4 players who played the most games.
Okay. Kelsey. Jason Kelsey?
No. At least according to StatMuse. StatMuse says no.
Where is he ranked? Do you see that or no?
I'll look it up because actually that was what I was thinking of.
Brandon Graham.
Wow, great pull. Brandon Graham is 1. Okay. 195 games.
Okay, now who else we got? Cowboys. Probably a quarterback.
Cowboys is Jason Witten.
Kelsey was 2, by the way. Sorry, I didn't know that. Kelsey was 2 at 193.
The Cowboys is Jason Witten.
Jason Witten, there you go. 255.
No games like ever. And I think he played like 20 years damn near. So he gotta be.
Giants.
2 more left. I think 1 is the hardest, but I think you should get, especially if you played Madden. And the other one is pretty easy when you think of it.
Eli Manning.
Does it count?
Eli Manning's 236. Pretty easy, yeah.
Is it a command? Is it the Commanders or is it like Washington as a whole?
It's Washington Redskins football team Commanders, yes. I know this guy. I actually think I met this guy before.
I don't know anything about Washington.
If you played Ultimate Team, you probably know who he is.
Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon.
Nah, that's a journeyman.
Okay. But
give me what's his position?
I won't give you position, but I'll say he's on the defense.
Darryl Green.
Darryl Green. I was gonna say if I said DB, I feel like that'd be an obvious one.
Yeah,
I wasn't getting that. Eli Manning was easy though because he went through so many games without missing a game.
I thought that was first one.
Yeah. All right. I guess we already doing trivia and stuff. We're gonna just have to just do it. Keep going with it. I got a few things. Ooh, no.
Player A versus player B. Give me player A.
We can do that first, actually.
Is this gonna be all time or like this is like?
Yeah, you should specify.
They are both active. Let's play player A versus player B. All right. Player A, 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 3,858 yards, 65.4 completion percentage, 89.1 passer rating. Player B, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 3,070 yards, 66.4 completion percentage, 98.0 passer rating. Which one are you taking?
I'm gonna go with B.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with B. I ain't gonna lie.
Just
touchdown to interception ratio type crazy.
It's again situation because we're gonna like say what it is. It's all situational based, but stats is like not close.
Y'all taking player B, not close. Okay. Player A is Jalen Hurts.
I said that. I said stats are not close. And are the stats close? Would you agree?
No, they're not.
Thank you.
Player A is Jalen Hurts. Player B is Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson also played 2 less games than Jalen Hurts last year. So
that tracks. That tracks. Sound good to me.
Yep. That bro, we have to give Sean Payton some real credit for last year for Russell Wilson's play.
That sounds like a regular Jalen Hurts year to me. I don't know. That seems about the normal.
But I guess what's called can't throw 15 interceptions. I don't know. Jalen Daniels can't do it. Let's get this up. All right. Guess the NFL team based on their Madden ratings. If you're watching the video, make sure you submit your guess before we reveal the team. In the comments, submit your guess. All right. I'm gonna give it to the floor. Who y'all think this is? It's gonna be pretty hard.
Is this NFC based? I mean
No.
NFC East based.
No.
Is it the AFC North?
What?
Is it in the AFC North?
It is in the AFC North.
Is this the Steelers?
It is the Steelers.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
It's the Steelers. Quarterback is obviously Russell Wilson.
Who's a 79?
Wait
a minute. Is this the Steelers? Oh no, it's not. It's not the Steelers. I lied. This is not the Steelers. Oh, bro. No, this is not the Steelers. No, it's not.
So is the next one the Steelers?
No, it's not.
Is this the Browns?
My bad. Let me restate that. Max is not a Steelers. I don't even know why I said yes to that. No, this is not the Browns. They're not the AFC North. My bad.
Oh, yo, what?
Make sure we got all this in the TikTok because this is terrible.
They're not the AFC North. I was confused. I'm like, who the hell's on the Steelers and 79 wide receivers? I'm like,
85 running back, 85 defense, wide receiver 86, QB 75. This is
it in the NFC?
It is in the NFC, yes.
Is it in the NFC West?
No.
That means it's
the Saints.
This is the Saints. Yes, it is.
Yeah. I was thinking like this probably the South. I'm like, who's in the South?
Are you sure it's the Saints?
Yeah,
Are we sure
I'm
it's the Saints?
sure.
Okay, that's good.
Quarterback is Derek Carr. Wide receiver is Rashid Shaheed. The other wide receiver is Chris Olave. Running back is still Alvin Kamara at 85. Defense is obviously still pretty good. The tight end, I forgot bro name. I'm not going what is his name? No, it's not Taysom Hill. Let me see.
The tight end for the for is Jawan Johnson.
Yes, the tight end is Jawan Johnson. Yeah. All right. Next team.
What? A 90 defense with an 83 running back, 83 yards. What the hell? 76 QB. That sounds like Brock Purdy.
This is the Steelers.
Brock Purdy is crazy.
This is the Steelers.
This is the Steelers. Yes, it is.
Trying to be a weird troll about
that's disrespectful as hell. George Pickens shouldn't be no 83. That's wild.
I was surprised they had him at 85. I don't think Madden would be respectful like that.
Yeah, QB Russell Wilson, wide receiver George Pickens, tight end Pat Freiermuth, wide receiver Calvin Austin. I think it really don't matter.
It's not Roman Wilson. Nobody 73 like that.
Running back is obviously Najee Harris, and the defense is 90 overall. All right, that's all my tricks. Let's get into these record predictions. Let's do the Cowboys first.
Yeah, let's run through these quick. I'll count. Run through teams. I'll count. All right, let's go through.
All right, let's do it. Q.
I'm ready.
All right, Q is going to predict the Cowboys schedule for 2024. Week 1 on the road against the Browns.
Dub.
Type crazy.
Why?
Week 2.
Go into it. We can't be going crazy on this. Just finish the predictions. Talk after.
Week 2 at home versus the Saints.
Dub.
Week 3 at home against the Ravens.
You can take an L here.
All right, 2-1. Week 4 on the road versus the Giants.
Dub.
Okay, yeah, this they bye week must be in. It gotta be because September 26th to October 6th is not 1 week, right? It's not, right? No, it's not. Okay, so that was week 1, 2, 3, 4.
I won week 5.
Week 6. We on week 6.
Week 6. Week 6. Week 6. On the road versus the Steelers.
Dub.
Week 7 at home versus the Lions.
Dub.
Okay. Week 7 week 7 on the road versus the 49ers.
L.
That's not week 7, that's week 8. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Week 6, week 7. Week 8. No, week 8 versus the 49ers.
Yep.
Week 8 versus the 49ers on the road. I was just saying that for TikTok. All right, week 9 on the road versus the Falcons.
Dub.
Week 10 at home versus the Eagles.
Dub.
Week 11 at home versus the Texans.
Dub.
That's basically neutral field down there, I guess. Week 12 on the road versus the Commanders.
Dub.
Week 13 at home versus Giants.
Dub.
Week 14 at home versus the Bengals.
L.
Okay. Week 15 on the road versus the Panthers.
Dub.
Week 16 at home versus the Buccaneers.
Dub.
Week 17 on the road versus the Eagles.
L.
Week 18 at home versus the Commanders.
What's the record right now?
You got 12 wins. So 12-5. No, 12-4 right now. They could beat the Commanders without.
Yeah, they
Give 'em a win.
can.
You want to give him a win. You want to give him a win. Give him a win. It's fine. You want to give him a win.
I give it to him.
Yeah, 13. Because do you think in your heart of hearts that they split, or do you think the Cowboys win twice?
I don't think they. I only think they lose one game in the NFC East,
And you had them lose.
on
You
the
had them losing
Eagles
like
game on the road.
you would have had them losing too. So that's fine. If you would have picked a loss right there, you would have had them losing too.
Yeah, but I already know somebody that is not gonna. There's gonna be niggas in the comments. They're gonna lose to the Texans. They're gonna lose to the Browns, and they're gonna probably find another team that they should lose to. Should I knock them down to 10 wins? I don't think losing to the Browns is crazy. The Browns, yeah, they got a good defense, but they have a bad offense, and Dallas can score. Like, I think that people think that Detroit's better than the Cowboys. That could be the case, but it's still in J World, and the Cowboys don't lose at home in the regular season, and they've beaten them before. They're another team that's relying on young corners to try and do something. Still think they're going to get lit up. People believe in the Texans, but I still think the Texans, they could have an up and down season.
It could be a close game. It's not a crazy game. You gave them 13 wins.
All right.
Let me go with the Giants next.
13 wins.
Giants next.
Some toss-up games in there. Giants, you say?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Week 1 at home versus the Vikings.
Loss.
Max is going to predict the Giants' schedule in 2024. Week 2 on the road versus the Commanders.
Loss.
Week 3 on the road versus the Browns.
Loss.
Short week at home versus the Cowboys.
Big loss.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Brian Dable gets fired right here.
Week 5. Not week 5. Nope, that's not week 5. Week 6. Week 6 on the road versus the Seahawks.
I want to say win, but I don't believe that. So I'm going to go with loss.
Week 7 at home versus the Bengals.
Loss.
Week 8 at home versus the Eagles.
Loss.
Week 9 on the road versus the Steelers.
Loss.
Week 10 at home versus the Commanders.
That's their first win. They finally get one.
Week 11 on the road versus the Panthers.
Not on the road. I think it's in
No, it's in Carolina.
It doesn't say so. I think it could be in another country. Is that a broad game?
I think that's overseas.
Yeah. On ESPN it says versus Carolina, like it's a home game for them. So
this is at Panthers on my shit. So
regardless, I think they have a chance to win that. So I'll give them a win. They need something.
I lost track of what week it is now because you just said all that. Wait.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's week 10.
Bye week, bro.
Yeah, that's in Germany.
They haven't hit their bye week. Their bye week's week 11.
The Giants?
Do you have the right schedule up? Their bye week's week 11, it says.
I don't think so. How?
On mine, it says their bye week's week 11.
So September 26th to October 6th is a week, huh?
Yeah, because you're on Thursday. You're on Thursday.
You must play on a Thursday.
You're on Thursday. Yeah, you're on Thursday.
Oh, so okay, whatever. So we had the Panthers. You said week 11? 10?
Yeah, it's week 11's a bye. So I got them at 2-8 going into the bye.
All right, week 13 at home against the Buccaneers.
Loss.
Week 14 on the road versus the Cowboys.
Loss.
Week 15 at home versus the Saints.
That's a win.
Week 16. No.
Week 16 versus Baltimore is a loss.
Yes.
Or week 15 versus Baltimore.
Yeah.
Sorry. Week 15
week
versus
15
Baltimore.
versus week 16 versus the Falcons on the road.
Loss.
Week 17 at home against the Colts.
Loss.
Week 18 on the road versus the Eagles.
I think the Eagles sit people, and that's a win.
So you got them going 3 and 14.
4.
Oh, 4-14, 4-13.
Washington, Carolina, New Orleans, and maybe the Eagles.
All right, let's do Eagles, man. Let's do Eagles.
Q, you want to say them? I'll count.
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up right now.
All right.
Okay. LaDummy is about to predict the Eagles schedule for 2024. Ready?
Yep. Let's do it. Super Bowl, here we come.
Week
1 versus the Packers in Brazil.
W.
Week 2 at home against the Falcons.
W.
Week 3 on the road versus the Saints.
W.
Week 4 on the road versus the Buccaneers.
Oh, W. W. Come on. W.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it
Please,
going.
bro. Please. I'm not moved by the Bucks, man. I'm not.
Not the team that fraud them, but all right.
Wait, didn't they beat them? Didn't they beat them in the regular season last year? I think I remember that. They beat them in the regular season last year. They did.
Beat them in the playoffs twice when it counts. Shut up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Week 5 at home against the Browns.
At home against the Browns. Browns a good team.
You say it. Yeah, you want to say W. I can sense that one.
They going 18-0. I mean 17-0.
I'm just saying.
Weeks. What's this? Week 7.
6.
Yeah,
They have a bye week yet. It should be 6. They're 5-0 right now.
4, 5, 6. Week 6 at the Giants.
W.
Week 7 at the Bengals.
At the Bengals. Loss.
Come on, dog.
It's week 8 versus the Bengals. They had their bye week 5. So it's week 8. It's week 9 versus Jacksonville now.
How they had their bye week 5? Oh yeah, they did. You're right.
Bye week 5.
So this is week 8 versus the Jaguars at home.
Week 9 versus the Bengals, or week 8 versus the Bengals. Week 9 versus the Jags at home.
All right, so week 9 at home versus the Jags.
W.
Week 10 on the road versus the Cowboys.
Loss.
W. That is. Week 11 at home versus the Commanders.
W.
Week 12 on the road versus the Rams.
Loss.
Week 12, what's this, week 13?
Yeah.
Week 13 on the road versus the Ravens.
Loss.
Week 14 at home versus the Panthers.
Win.
Week 15, right?
15 versus the Steelers.
Yeah, week 15 at home versus the Steelers.
W.
Week 16 on the road versus the Commanders.
W. And they play the Giants last.
17, week 17 at home versus the Cowboys.
W.
And last game at home versus the Giants.
W. That's 13-4, right?
13, yeah, 13-4.
Yeah, pretty standard. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty reasonable.
They lose to the Rams, but they beat the Browns. They lose to the Bengals.
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't think that's crazy either.
At home and on the road. At home and on the road. The Rams are not a bad team.
I know that.
Why is it shocking?
Are they at home versus the Browns?
Yeah, it's in Philly.
Yeah, I don't think that matters.
That's early in the season.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how Deshaun Watson gonna be coming out of there early in the year. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Would it have mattered if it was early or late?
Yeah, I think he could establish a rhythm later on. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Deshaun
Watson believer.
What about the rhythm that Baker Mayfield got after?
Oh, brother!
I don't even like Baker. I think he's a bum.
Hey, okay, hold on. Calm down. Revitalized his career last year.
Washington.
Bro,
Finish this up.
He just lost his coordinator though. I don't know how he's gonna be acting next year. He
got his and he asked to hire his favorite coordinator when he was over there with the Rams when he was cooking up. That got him this little job right here, and then he fried this same Eagles team.
in the
Like,
playoffs. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, when it matters.
Commanders. Let's do Commanders. We don't. Who cares? Whoever does it, they're gonna lose a lot of games. We know this.
You got it, Latif. You got it. You're the biggest Commanders fan out of all of us
How? John
because
Dawson?
you're the only one who has a something for the team.
I was actually gonna be a Commanders fan if they would have selected Drake May.
Yes, we know. You've
Yeah.
said that a couple times now.
Bro, not even doing well in Kent.
I heard he'd be all right.
Hey, they got Joe Milton talks over him.
Come on, bro.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Drake might be a bump.
Q, you want to count? You want me to count?
I'll count.
All right. Latif, good?
Yep.
Week 1 at Tampa.
I lost.
Week 2 at home versus New York.
At home versus New York, W.
Week 3 in Cincinnati.
Lost.
Week 4 in Arizona.
Lost.
Week 5 at home versus Cleveland.
Lost.
Week 6 in Baltimore.
Lost.
Week 7 at home versus Carolina.
W.
Week 8 at home versus Chicago.
Lost.
Week 9 at New York.
Lost.
Week 10 at home versus Pittsburgh.
Lost.
Week 11 in Philly.
Lost.
Week 12 at home versus Dallas.
Lost.
Week 13 at home versus Tennessee.
I'm not gonna lie, I might lose this.
Yeah,
they might lose this too. They lost.
Week 14 is a bye. Week 15 at New Orleans.
W.
Week 16. Week 16 at home versus Philly.
Lost.
Week 17 at home versus Atlanta.
Lost.
And week 18 in Dallas.
Lost.
Bro, they're not going 2-15, bro. What are we doing?
They definitely can. They definitely can. They are garbage.
What are we
There's
doing?
15 picks would definitely be had if they go 2-15.
Bro.
Nah. I mean, is it not possible? I guess the Titans.
Yes, I could win the lottery right now. If
It's not that one. It's not one of them. The Titans.
They not winning only two. They're not going 2-15, bro.
The Titans is a toss-up game. But outside of that, which one would you disagree with that?
I don't think it is.
The Titans better than them? Or are you saying the Titans are clearly better than them?
I think the Titans are better than them. Yes.
Okay, then. So what game are we talking about right now?
They're beating. They're definitely beating the Giants twice. They're beating the Saints.
Wait. Adam losing to the Giants or splitting with them?
Twice.
My bad. I should have split with that. But
no.
I was zoned out.
Because when
3-14, 3-14.
They're not going 3-14, bro.
Why not? Who else are they beating?
I bet everything in my account right now. They're not going 3-14.
Who are they beating outside of the Giants once, and then Saints and?
They're gonna sneakily win 6 games. I promise.
Oh, we can bet on that.
How much?
I go under. I can go under $50 on under.
Got you.
All right.
What's the other bet we got? That dumbass Jets bet? Yeah.
The Jets won the division. Okay, so right now
I want to be up a bean on you just because of you. You about to pay for my That's 2 gas tanks.
We just agreed that the Commanders are losing are over under 6 games. So you got them winning at least 6. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, over under 5.5.
Okay, and I took the under. Yeah, I took the under, and then the Jets bet. That's cool. All right, that was another episode of the Debate Room Podcast. Ended off with another bet. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna continue to grow. We've been a little bit inconsistent with the content. We're gonna get back on our shit. We need to, especially since school about to start. So we need to create a real schedule and stick to that shit. So thank you guys for tuning in. Love y'all always, and we out.